to hear first from his evaluator, Mr. Ed Mansour, to read his objectives. Ed, you're muted.
There it is. Greetings. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Ed.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be evaluating Scott. This is project number 4, and it's out of the manual, Speeches by Management. And Scott's objectives, which are very timely at this time, is introduce a new idea or change to establish operations or methods. Show the audience how the change will benefit them and overcome any resistance to the new idea and gain the audience support. Those are the objectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Sometimes people go through the motions without even knowing why. Scott will give a speech using colorful examples trying to steer a company in a new direction. Please give it up for Scott with that. That's the way we've always done it. Give it up for Scott.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Let me get set up here with my timer. So picture I'm addressing a whole bunch of you as auto workers. So hello, United Auto Workers, local number 309. I know there's been a lot of concern about the new robots that have shown up on the factory floor over by the assembly line. The new robots are capable of handling all the metal components and aligning them and assembling them with enough precision to build the car. And this represents a huge, huge change in our automation of manufacturing. Now, I know that you've come to know the spot welding robots and the painting robots as they go and do their thing. But at this point, I think I'm pretty confident in saying that none of you would like to go back to those jobs. They were the largest source of workers' compensation claims. They created more injuries, and in many cases, they sent workers home for permanent retirement, or sometimes even worse. And there's some positive things that are going to come out of this. But before I get into that, I'd like to relate a little story. So there was an experiment done by some zoologists studying primate behavior. And they set up this large cage, gotta get my hands to fit. They set up this large cage that would hold 5 gorillas in it. And inside they put a stool, and they also had a tender on the outside with a fire hose. And they kept the gorillas hungry for the day, so that when they lowered a banana down to the center of the cage, but not all the way so that they could reach it easily, that one of the gorillas grabbed the stool, put it in the center of the cage, and got up on the stool, and he grabbed the banana. And when he did that, the tender outside took the fire hose, and he went to hose down all the gorillas in the cage, except for the one who had grabbed the banana. And when the gorillas saw that, they got so angry, they went and they beat on that gorilla. They beat on him and beat on him and beat on him. And then afterwards, the one gorilla felt awful. It's just like, well, it wasn't even worth it. It was just a banana. And so over the next week, they repeated the experiment. Each day they would remove one gorilla and they would add a new one. And they would repeat the thing, but without the fire hose. Even before the new gorilla would get the stool out and go up and try to reach up and grab that banana, all the other gorillas would grab him and beat him and beat on him and beat on him. And they did this day after day until 5 days went by. And all the original gorillas that had actually been sprayed with the water, they had been removed from the cage. But the gorillas still went on, going on and beating on the other, punishing the other gorillas just from the memory of what had happened to them that first time. So the punishment existed in their mind without even, just in their memory. It didn't matter that it never happened to them. And then it became a cultural thing ingrained in them. Before the gorillas could even get in there and get the stool, others would beat them up and beat them up. And that was the end of things. And they didn't even have to use the fire hose after the first day. So when the zoologists were trying to figure out what was going on here, they tried to understand the gorillas' behavior. They were posed by the question, why do all the gorillas kind of beat on each other if they don't even remember the original event? They weren't there. They didn't get sprayed with the water. It didn't bother them. And they kind of thought, they did sort of one of the zoologists was in the corner doing the little rodents thinker thing, and he was just thinking and thinking, what is this? And then one of the other ones looked and said, well, it's because that's the way we've always done it. And think to yourself, what organizations you've been in where people say, well, why do we do this? Well, that's just the way we've always done it. And is it a good idea? Not necessarily. And with that thought in mind, I'd like to say there's nothing good in punishing others for a transgression that they don't even remember. And there's nothing noble in getting your hand cut by a piece of sheet metal while you're assembling a car. Though these new robots will eliminate some new jobs, or some jobs, it'll also open up a number of new jobs for robotic maintenance and for training. And as is our policy, that training will be free of charge for all of those of you who qualify. If you're interested in this, you can talk to your shop steward and they can sign you up for training. And I will talk with each of the assembly teams and give you the details of the new jobs. But the short version is this: the new jobs will pay better, but there will be fewer of them at first. But what it'll do is it'll open up our assembly line to allow for more customization of the cars and a greater appeal in the marketplace. And I understand this isn't for everybody, so for those of you who don't want to continue in this environment, there will be severance packages available according to your union rules. I know in the past, the union has wanted to say no more robots, we don't want those, they're bad. And it was their way of doing that is, well, we're going to strike till we get our way. And upper management's point of view was, well, our way was we're going to just close the factory and open it up somewhere else. And these solutions were not good for anyone here. It's not good for the union. It's not good for the company. It's not good for our customer. And as a company, we did lower cost, but we also lowered quality, and we depressed the local economy. It was bad and a desperate move for everyone. So as a society, sometimes we slip and punish others because that's the way we've always done it. But let's not do that now. No one needs to lose a finger just so we can build a car. We now have a way we can significantly reduce our injury during the assembly of our cars. Let's take it and move forward. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. A powerful, powerful story and call to action for leadership.
Yeah, but well, people want to do it, and some have to lose their job. It's a hard sell.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. It's always good to be looking for new ways to do things because so often people continue to follow the same things that have been done over and over again. And sometimes it's good to look for new opportunities. All right. Next up,